Hey, what's up, everybody? DFS Rico coming at you with my picks and insight for this NFL Week 1 slate for DraftKings on Sunday, September 13th. Uh, we got a 12 gamer. It's a pretty good slate. This is the first slate of the season, so we're going to see what a lot of these teams really got to do. We didn't have no preseason, so it's going to be a little rough gauging like who's going to come out looking good as far as like rookies or guys we're not certain about. So it's going to make it a little tough, but I'm going to try my best to give you guys my favorite picks, some of my favorite plays as far as like smaller entry. I'll just try to give you guys some of the plays that I like. I do have a Patreon. It's only $5 a month right now. I'm going to be charging $5 a month. As of right now, I mean, with everything going on, I am just charging $5 a month, and I do just put up like a little cheat sheet. I will post this one up right now just so you guys can see. It's really easy to read. I mean, if you look at this green, you got my green ones are my cash plays that I like. GPP are the yellow ones, and then stacks that I'm really looking at. This is probably the only one that I'm going to do for free, obviously. I just want to give you guys a look. For $5 a month, it makes it a little easy for you guys. Just some people want it easier. Just come on here, look at the picks. Maybe you're looking for a cash play. Maybe you're looking for GPP plays. Can't make a decision on one or two guys you're having trouble on. Maybe you see them on here. And then with the $5, I do have a Discord. I will just be doing NFL right now, just with the busy schedule that I have going on. But I will try to put out as much content as I can for it, and I will update the spreadsheet the closer to the Sunday it gets. So it is updated right now, but on Sunday or Sunday morning, Friday or Saturday night, I will be updating it. For just $5 a month, it goes a long way. Really helps out. And then if, like I said, if you get over to the Discord, I will discuss like ownership with you guys or pivots. You guys can ask me questions on there before lock, and we can get to it. There's a couple guys in there that get to it daily, so it's nice even with other sports as well. But yeah, let's get to it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run through the quarterbacks. With football, you really want to target these games with high, projected scores. We got some high implied totals this weekend with the Seattle and Atlanta game. Baltimore's pretty high. New Orleans has a high one. Who else has a pretty high one? Philly has a high one. So you're going to want to target those. I'm just going to go through some quarterbacks that I do like for myself as of right now. I mean, the pricey guy I like, I mean, obviously you could like Lamar Jackson. I do like Lamar Jackson. But one thing I like to do with my quarterbacks is correlate them with my receiver. With Jackson, obviously you can play him with Brown or Andrews. But I do like Russell Wilson in this matchup with Atlanta. I mean, he's a stud. It's really easy to see who he's going to target, obviously, with receivers. I mean, you got Lockett, you got Metcalf. So I do like Wilson in that matchup. 7K is not a bad price. If you plan on stacking them, I do like them. Scrolling down, obviously, you got Drew Brees versus Tampa Bay. I like Matt Ryan in that same game. I really don't mind taking either side of those. I think it becomes a high-scoring game from both sides. None of the defenses really impressed me too much. So, and Matt Ryan, even when they're ahead, they're behind. He's going to throw the ball 40, 50 times, it feels like, no matter if they're winning or losing. And I don't think nothing changes this year, even with Gurley in the lineup. Hopefully that makes them a little better. And then they did lose Hooper. I know they lost Hooper, but Ridley's going to step up. And then Julio Jones, obviously. So for the two that I do like, obviously, like I said, I like Jackson, but I like Wilson. I like Ryan in this price range. And then a little cheaper, I do like 6.3 Carson Wentz, and he is going to be the guy I will be plugging in just because he's a little cheaper. He's in a good matchup versus Washington. Washington's not the best defense. They didn't really make no improvements to their pass defense. I mean, they drafted obviously some linemen, but their pass defense didn't get any better in my opinion. So I do like Carson Wentz in this matchup, and there's another guy that I do like pairing him up with that I will be talking about in a little bit. But like I said, over on the Discord, I will talk to you guys if you guys have questions about more quarterbacks. But early on, like I said, I like Jackson, I like Wilson, I like Ryan, I like Wentz. Just scrolling down, Cam Newton and Rivers aren't bad plays either, but those are more GPP plays in my opinion. This video I want to keep it more towards the more common viewers, which are cash or smaller GPPs and stuff like that. But Can't go wrong with any of these quarterbacks that I named off as well. So let's jump over to running back. You got Christian McCaffrey at 10K. If you do want to pay up for him, there's ways to get to him. There's some cheap guys. Obviously in cash, it's probably one of the best ways to go for 10K. It's a lot. I don't mind him. He's like Lamar Jackson. I don't mind either one. I know they're pricey, but if you can get to him, I don't mind you getting to them. But me, myself, I'm just scrolling down the list, just some guys that I do like early on. Obviously, I like McCaffrey. He's one of the guys I really do like at 10K. I don't have a problem with him. The Raiders' defense is decent. I mean, it was terrible last year, but I think it actually got better over the offseason. They're getting some healthy bodies back. They got some middle linebackers in. They got a new captain on the defensive team. I think they got better. I'm not gonna say they're gonna be, the best defense. Christian McCaffrey's hard to stop. I don't think anyone stopped him last year, so he is a good play if you have the salary to play him. And if you do play a guy like McCaffrey, a lot of people will be pairing him up with a guy like Gibson from Washington, who is like the second back on the team for 4K, or Robinson from Jacksonville. So if you do want to go that route, I don't mind playing either one. Robinson seems like he is going to be the starting back for Jacksonville, so you might be better off going with him. But it is risky, We don't know what we're going to get out of Gibson or Robinson, so it makes it difficult, like I said. But I do like Jacobs at 6.8K. He's probably one of my favorite plays. I like him. Carolina had one of the worst run defenses last season, and they didn't get any better. They actually got a little worse. And I think Jacobs comes out looking very good. He's been rested. I know he had an injury towards the end of last season. They kind of just shut him down, but I like him in this matchup. 6.8K. Early on, a lot of people were looking at guys like Miles Sanders, but we do have injury news with him. We don't know if he's going to be playing. There's some injury news that we are waiting on. So obviously, you can ask me questions on here if you have a question, and I will try my best to get back to you. But the Discord will be the easiest way, which I will put in the description. The Patreon at least. But I do like a lot of these backs. I like Josh Jacobs at 6.8K. Like I said, he's in a good matchup. This is one of those games that I think can go overlooked with all these other games that are high scoring. But I do like him. I like Kamara at 7.2K. Tampa Bay was a good rush defense last year, but they did allow a lot of yards to pass catching backs. And as if we see Kamara last season, I think he played 2 games against them. He put up 22 fantasy points in that one and 17 in that one. So it's not bad performances. I have 7.2. Don't have an issue with him. Miles Sanders, like I said, I like Miles Sanders if he's healthy, but I don't know how much I like him anymore. And then Joe Mixon at 6.7K is another player that I like, because I think even if they're losing or winning, he will be in the game script. He can catch out the backfield. Joe Burrow is going to look for a guy that he's going to be safe with, and I feel like Mixon is a good play. He's not a bad play. I know that the Chargers defense is pretty good, but Mixon, like I said, whether they're losing or winning, I think he'll be in the game script no matter what. So I do like him, and I did give you the cheap guys that I like, Gibson and Robinson. Like I said, over on the spreadsheet, there is a little more plays that I like as well. Bouncing over to receivers, the first guy I want to talk about is the guy I'm going to pair with Carson Wentz at 4.9K, Desean Jackson. We got a lot of injuries on this team still. Receiving corps is always hurt. I mean, Desean Jackson's always can get hurt as well, but hopefully he makes it through game 1 again. Had a good game 1 against the last season. I don't think that happens again, but he doesn't have that many targets. He has Goddard, he has Ertz, and Rieger, whatever his name is. He is going to be playing, so obviously Jackson loses a little value for that, but I do think Jackson is still the best play on the team as far as targets. And just ball, he has that deep ball potential that he can get one catch for 70 yards and a touchdown. That'll probably pay off his value. Anything after that is upside. So if he gets even a little more targets, a little more catches, he's going to be in a good position. And Washington is not the best pass defense either. But that's the main guy I want to talk about at first. But you got 9K Thomas up top. Can't go wrong with him. Julio Jones. I actually like Ridley better in his game. I don't have a problem with either one, but I do like Ridley a little better. Devonta Adams at 7.3 is not a bad play. I do like him as well. He's going to get probably 15 targets this game. Target monster. I see it really hard for him to fail, even at this price tag. I think I do prefer him over Jones and Thomas over these pricey guys. Godwin got a slight bump. We did see Evans is doubtful, so I don't mind Godwin at 7.1K. I do like him as well with Mike Evans being doubtful now. Gives him a big bump, honestly. DeAndre Hopkins, he's going to be more of a different play. But Adam Thielen at 6.7 is the other guy I want to highlight. Um, they lost Diggs. Remember, Diggs went to Buffalo, so Thielen becomes the #1 receiver in this team, and he can do it. He's good. The only issue with Minnesota is that they're more of a run-first team, which they will try to get the ball to Cook, Madison, but Thielen, I think he's secure with his probably 9 to 10 targets. Anything above that is going to be good for us at 6.7K. I do like Thielen a really good amount. I think this game's going to be decently scoring as well. Very competitive game. Two good teams, two teams that are competing for that NFC North title and possibly the NFC in general, But I do like them a good amount. Scrolling down, I mean, you got a lot of these guys I have on my spreadsheet that I do like, that I do have some interest in. Galladay is doubtful. We know that. Marvin Jones and Amendola will probably get a bump from that. We don't know what Green's going to bring us. AJ Green's going to bring us. So you see Tyler Boyd at 6.1. AJ Green is at 5.7. That'll be a little interesting. I do like T.Y. Hill in a really good amount. If you go the Russell Wilson way, I do like pairing him up with DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett, whichever one you go with. I think I prefer Metcalf because of the savings. They're just some target monsters. They're going to get their targets every single game. Beckham and Landry in a tough game versus Baltimore, but I don't mind them. There's a bunch of guys in here, a bunch of good receivers, even priced lower. McLaurin down here at 5.6. John Brown lost value because of Diggs, obviously. But Jones, like I said, he got bumped up in my opinion. We know Jeffrey's out, so obviously that gives Desean Jackson a bump. Jamison Crowder at 5.2 was a huge target guy for them last season. Look at him. He had a ton of games where he was getting over 10 targets, even 8 plus targets at 5.2K. He can pay that off very well. I think they'll be behind in that game as well. So they will be playing catch up with Buffalo, but we know how good of a defense Buffalo is. And obviously, like the rookies, you got Ruggs, you got Jefferson. You got a bunch of young rookies playing this weekend as well. CD Lamb. You just got a bunch of them that you need to keep an eye out that are going to be very, very interesting. Oh, not CD Lamb, obviously, but a bunch of good rookies that are Judy. Judy's out there with Sutton being hurt. That probably gives him a bump as well. Just got a bunch of good receivers out there this weekend. It's going to be a lot of different ways you can go with receivers and that are going to be very interesting. But these are the 4 guys that I really like right now. Coming over to tight end, I do like Hurst the most at 4.3K. I'm going to be plugging him in. Like I said, I expect this game to be a shootout, and I do want pieces of it, whether it's Ridley, Jones, Gurley, Hurst, Lockett, Metcalf. I want some kind of piece to it in cash, and 4.3 is really good value for him. We know how much Ryan liked Hooper last season before even Hooper got hurt. And if you can get him at 4.3, Hooper was up here with these guys last season. If Hurst comes in and fills in that kind of role like Hooper did last year, who knows how good is he going to be, right? Not going to say he's going to be as good as Hooper, but he's going to get way more opportunity in this offense. If Ryan comes out and throws the ball 50 plus times, those targets are going to go to Hurst. They're going to go to Ridley. They're going to go to Jones, Gurley, obviously. But Hurst, if he can get us a touchdown and a couple yards, catches, he's going to be in a good spot, and I do like him a good amount. And obviously you can't go wrong with Kittle. I really like Kittle, but because I think Deebo Samuel actually got announced out, so I do like Kittle a really good amount. Like who's he gonna throw the ball to? The Arizona defense is not that good. I like paying up for Kittle if you can find the money. I like Andrews at 6K if you could pair him with Lamar Jackson. Even as a one-off, he's not a bad play. They were both very good tight ends last year, probably top 3 tight ends with Kelsey as well. Darren Waller versus Carolina. Like I said, that Carolina defense is not the best. I do like Waller at 5.9. Out of all these guys, I think I prefer Kittle if I can get to him. Just because, like I said, he's going to get the targets. Why is he not going to get the targets? The Arizona defense is not the best. No Samuel. They're going to be missing like two of their best receivers. They don't got Sanders anymore. And I expect them to score a ton of points on Arizona. Unless Arizona's defense shows up somehow. But, I mean, you got Ertz, 5.8K. I don't mind pairing him up with Wentz either. Bunch of good tight ends this season. If you want some of the cheaper plays, obviously, I like Hurts. I even like Goddard at 4.1. If you don't want to play Ertz, you can play a guy like Goddard at 4.1 just to be different than the crowd. Where's Gronkowski at? 4.9. We don't know what he's going to do. Jack Doyle at 3.6. I expect him to have a good repertoire with, or like, a good pairing with Rivers. Rivers has always liked throwing to tight ends. Gates, Henry, you've seen the numbers with them. And Doyle doesn't have Ebron to worry about anymore, so I do like Jack Doyle in this matchup at 3.6K. But I think I like Hurst a little better. I think he feels a little safer, but Doyle's not a bad play either. I like Doyle. Some good tight ends, some good receivers, some good running backs. This is kind of what I'm looking at early on right now. It gives you 5.2 remaining, which lets you go a lot of different ways. You could pay down again at running back, pay up at the flex, whatever you really want to do. You can go a lot of ways with this options, with this core right here, and this is something I'm going to be looking at early on. Obviously, like I told you, if you look at the spreadsheet, you can go back and pause the video if you want to look at it. Maybe you don't want to play some of these guys, switch some of them in and out. It might benefit you, but this is something I like early on to start with if you're having trouble. A nice little starting point. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, and go over to the description to sign up for that Patreon, and I would really appreciate it. Thank you guys.